Now it's time for RTB 101. This is the segment where we talk about practical questions to help equip you to share your faith with friends and family more effectively. And you know, I've been thinking lately a lot about Genesis 1:1. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But it makes me wonder, does time have a beginning? And here to help me talk about that is my friend, President and founder, Dr. Hugh Ross. So let's talk about it, Hugh. The concept of time having a beginning, that is part of Big Bang cosmology, right?
It is, and it's part of the space-time theorem. This is also part of the Christian faith. It's what I noticed when I first picked up the Bible. It's different from the other holy books in that God does not create within time. He creates time when he creates the universe. Okay,
so let's talk about that, because you made a very provocative statement just now that the idea of time having a beginning is part of the Christian faith. So can you help unpack that from a biblical point of view?
Well, you quoted Genesis 1:1, that phrase, the heavens and the earth. It's used 9 times in the Old Testament, and it means the totality of physical reality, all matter, energy, space, and time. It helps to realize biblical Hebrew doesn't have a word for universe, but the heavens and the earth means everything, including space and time itself. In the New Testament, we actually have explicit statements that God creates time. I mean, 2 Timothy 1:9, the grace of God that we now experience was put into effect before the beginning of time, or what you see in Hebrews, that the universe we can detect did not come from that which we can detect, and we have the capacity to detect space and time.
So the idea that there was something that came before time, the grace of God, the love of God, the plan of God, something like that makes it points to or seems to corroborate the scientific idea that time has a beginning.
It does.
How firm of footing are we on there scientifically that time has a beginning?
Very firm foundation. I mean, there's about 30 space-time theorems that exist today, and there's new ones being developed that basically affirm the biblical statement that when the universe has a beginning, time is a beginning as well, and there must be an agent beyond time that created everything.
Okay, so if I'm on good, solid foundation that time has a beginning from a scientific perspective, we also talked a little bit about the biblical case for time having a beginning. Then what is God in? Is he like beyond time, or how do I think about where God is in relationship to time?
Well, he's beyond cosmic time, but the Bible makes it clear that God is involved in temporal experiences independent of cosmic time. I mean, the 3 members of the Godhead are in a relationship with one another. They're actually working out the plans of redemption before they create anything. And from our perspective, that's a temporal phenomena. That opens up the possibility that God might be operating in multiple independent dimensions of time, or the equivalent, or since he can create space-time dimensions as well, he may have capacities completely independent of dimensionality. All that is possible. The Bible doesn't get explicit exactly how.
Okay. So would we say that God is independent of time or stands outside of time?
He's independent of time. He's also completely dwelling within time.
Okay.
That's what's unique about Christianity. God fills the entirety of his creation. He fills all of the space-time realm, and yet in no way is he restricted by the space-time realm he created. He can operate freely and independently of all space and time.
So Jesus can enter into time in the incarnation when he came to earth and he was born.
And he can leave time.
And he can leave time. Okay.
Right.
So do you see this as kind of an evidence for the supernatural origin of the Bible? Like when I'm talking to my non-Christian friends, is this ever an argument or a case that you try to use to make for the reliability of Scripture?
Well, that was a big impact on my coming to faith in Jesus Christ, looking at the other holy books and seeing they describe God, his attributes, all in a context that can be comprehended within length, width, height, and time. The Bible stood alone in teaching doctrines about God, about creation, that were beyond what we human beings can visualize, which told me that the message of the Bible must come from a being that transcends the dimensions of length, width, height, and time.
So if people want to dig a little deeper into this, which of your books might you recommend?
Well, beyond the cosmos and why the universe is the way it is.
Very good. So we can encourage people to check that out if they really want more details or want to share this with a non-Christian friend.
Well, also gives them some hope of what to look forward to in the future when we're in a completely different realm.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That God
isn't
is
the end.
this isn't the end. The new creation
God's
is coming.
going to bring us into a completely different dimensional realm, and that's an exciting thing to look forward to.
It sure is. And I want to encourage all of you to check out Hugh Ross's blog, Today's New Reason to Believe. You can just go on our website at reasons.org and explore the new evidences that Hugh likes to track for the reliability of the Bible and the Christian faith. I know you're going to be blessed if you check it out.